To have a permanent change, that's something that will last you a lifetime, so that you can see your kids and grandkids, however you want to cut it. Jump off the fence and just do it. At the time when I had the surgery, I was 319 pounds. I was 30 at the time, so just had turned 30. I've been dieting and whatnot literally my whole life. Like, I've been overweight forever, as long as I can remember. I did join kind of everything under the sun. I've done keto, all of these things, but the sustainability was awful. You know what I mean? Like, I would drop 60 pounds, for example, and do really well. Come the maintenance time, and you're craving all these foods because literally they're starving you. And of course, you're going to lose weight because you're just starving. But again, it wasn't sustainable, right? So I had been thinking about doing the sleeve surgery for a long time. It's literally the phrase, the elephant in the room, except you're the elephant. Legit, right? So it doesn't matter how you cut it, whatever activities you do, you will be limited. So one of the big kind of turning moments for me, I went to Wonderland and I could not fit in Drop Zone. I just don't think, to be honest, the world is built or created for larger people. And that's sometimes tough to swallow, but again, that should hopefully, motivate people a little bit more to want to make a change. But again, health perspective as well too is the other element for sure. I'd hit a point in my health that I've never crossed before, in that I was super out of breath, like really lethargic, and felt crappy all the time. But I was scrolling through my Instagram, and I'm a very open book, very open person. So I share all these things with my friends, my family, and I had scrolled through at different times of different stages of my life, of 2 different befores and afters. And it's like, am I going to do this again for the 3rd time, to do another before and after? Like, for what? Like, obviously whatever I did before didn't work. My kids are at the time were like 5 and 6. And I had said, would I see a wedding? Would I see a graduation? When I realized that, I was kind of like, you know what? That's it. Like, enough's enough. I'm doing something permanent, and people can think what they want. I don't give 2 flying shits, to be honest with you. It's my body, my life. So I decided I was going to do it. The feeling of no hunger and all that stuff, that is real. Like, that is 100% real. Does the actual surgery hurt, kind of thing? Like, again, I think everyone experiences it differently, but again, the actual stomach organ that I thought would be super painful, like, literally I wouldn't have known if you didn't touch it or not, because it did not feel like there was no pain inside, kind of thing, right? So when you start to learn, and it's a mental thing, when you learn what portion looks like now, volume, versus what you had before, it is very eye-opening. No wonder I was 319 pounds. Like, I would eat 3 bowls of spaghetti, right? That's been the change. So now I really look at it as limited real estate. I want to put in what matters. You feel so full from like literally nothing, right? So you were rated very, very highly. I also, when looking around, I was looking at testimonials and things like that. I could have got it done in Mexico, by all means. But thank God for TV shows like Botched. This was the only program where, again, there is the accountability part from this, Sulana and the team, and you guys are always, keeping me up to date on, anything relevant. So the whole journey itself is not the same experience that anything else was. Had I gone to Mexico and got it done, if something went sour, like, would OHIP cover that? Knowing my luck, that's probably what would have happened. So I figured, let me see who's, the number 1 rated, bariatric surgeon in the country. I was getting some feelers out with reading testimonials, things like that. The only promise that you had was your promise to keep it real. You made sure that you weren't setting me up for something that was, going to let me down, kind of thing, which I think speaks volumes. I think keeping things transparent was really big in not getting my buy-in, but getting the trust. One of the reasons why I joined as well too is I was always more successful on diet programs where I was held accountable. To this day, like, we still stay in touch, and every time she exits a call from us, we do have a booking for the next call, et cetera, et cetera. So she's really, really good for even if I have like random questions about nutrition or whatever. She's a really good go-to. And yeah, she is on me. With the inception of having things like social media presence, it makes someone like me want to be a part of it, to again help the others that are potentially thinking about doing this, or I've got questions, So having like a group like that is kind of like a support group. It is refreshing to know that you're not the only one by yourself. You can also reach out to the other people you've met through these programs. We've all continued on together, and some of them go through different issues that we've already gone through, so we can give advice, and then vice versa. The same doctor, the same surgeon, going through the same program, it just makes it feel a little bit, a lot more comfortable, a lot more homey. Because I had to go through all those programs leading up to now, I probably spent more than that already. And I'm still in the same boat of feeling like crap, I'm overweight. It's a big commitment, absolutely. But when you look at it, I talk of investments all day long. I talk about mortgages all day long. We never talk about investing in yourself. And I think that's the biggest thing here is not to get hung up on the dollar amount, because the $20,000 could be spent today for me to have the surgery, or can be spent tomorrow on my funeral when something happens. If I want to extend my life and be able to see all the things that an average human should see, with their kids, their families, etc., what's $20,000? 135. When I hit the 100, I was satisfied at that point, right? So everything from here on out has kind of been like, the gravy, the cherry on top of whatever you want to call it. The difference in how I feel, the difference in my outlook, I feel like on I don't want to say life, because that seems so cliche, but literally, like, the outlook I have when I leave my house is very different. That I don't want to lose that, right? I don't want to go back to what that whole cycle had been prior. Shopping at a store and you can buy what's in the store, versus Old Navy's our only option because they're the only ones that sell triple XL. You know what I mean? Like, that was the reality. I wish before I did all the other programs that I had done this when I was really feeling like I really needed it. I wish I did it sooner, because it's been like extremely life-changing, mentally, physically, all that stuff. So I put this post up on LinkedIn about my whole journey and the reality I was in, and the response I had from strangers has been astronomical. So I had on I don't know what it's at today, but when it was at the peak of it, it was 3 days in, I was like over 50,000 views. It was insane. So I had people reaching out like, inspiring story, I'm going through this, things like that I didn't expect to get out of it. But it's been the response again from the masses has been, there's always going to be someone that might not be brave enough as you to say what you said. And to me, it's again a way to pay it forward, to kind of bring that stuff to light, to know that it's okay. Like, people are in the same boat. Jump off the fence and do it. There's like nothing to be him and han about, realistically. Like, you will have no regrets. You are looking for help. I've yet to meet anybody that has said they regretted it, right? So